So I've put this bar in here with 2 bolts in, which I've hammered down because they're a very tight fit, and that gives me exactly 120 centimetres. So I'll do the same at this end. Knowing that that end's going to stay where it is, well, the width anyway. Straight out here. I think this is glued. That didn't want to go. Nearly there. Zoom this back out a bit for you. Get rid of some of that outside light. See if we can brighten the image up a bit. There we are. Right, so we're through here. We've just got this top one to do. So I'm trying to keep the plates all together. Anyway, let's get this done. I'll just oil up these holes. I have some big fat curly chips. I must admit, it's got power, but it's definitely lacks stability. Right. So first, oh. Now, I could have welded all this together, and I very nearly did, but it would be heavy to move around. Not that I want to do much moving around, but it's got to go in the other shed, I think. So I decided to bolt it together, and I'll see how that goes. We can always weld it, I suppose, at a later date. But anyway, I'm going to take a little break, and I'm going to check the video files on the camera, because the camera's been playing up, and I shall see you shortly. Yeah, it couldn't be much better. It really couldn't. Oh! I moved it! Let's concentrate on getting this square. Stuff in the way, I think. Cool, 2 meters exactly. Pretty straight, isn't it? Well, that took some doing, and I've got the joy of doing the other side tomorrow. Where did we manage? No, pretty decent. Not perfect, but pretty decent. Good enough for a press. Just on. There we are. worry about then is the side to side. I think that's it. This time I didn't use it last time, but as it's sat here, I've put this magnet on. So it doesn't, it gives it a stop. Yep. That's it. We'll get it drilled. Oh. There's some gravity to this lot. Yeah. I used to have a rolling gantry in here. I've still got it, but it was so big it got in the way. I think I might cut it down and make it follow this table, or just wide enough to go over a car. Yeah, it's another project one day.
I'm just making the cross pieces for the table. It's all been measured and set up, and now I'm just going to cut it. I'm cutting two pieces together. It's 120 by 100, 10mm thick angle iron, galvanised.
a tiny cut. Now I need to cut the other end. The ends of the angle line were bent, so we're cutting the ends off to leave us with the length that we're looking for, which is 1.2 metres, 120. What a difference that made. It'll be absolutely fine. I won't need to weld it at all.
Where's that camera?
There.
Oh.
Where is it? There's your back, yeah?
I was thinking, oh, she's something. What do you mean?
No, it's not on at the moment.
Oh.
I don't try and record all. So we've got the basic frame up now. I've just fitted a plate there for something temporary to push against. So a 20 thick mil plate, just held up with 2 threaded rods. Like I say, it's just something to push up against, because I'm going to attempt to take the liners out of this Ferguson block, 135 block that I've got. Now, we did try it with this, and I got one cylinder out. In fact, the cylinder's over here. We took one cylinder out, but when I tried to take the second cylinder out, I had a lot of problems with, I had a 20 mil threaded rod through the hydraulic cylinder to pull the liner out with a puck on the end. And let's grab this puck. We had a puck and the threaded rod through here, down through here into this puck, and the pressure that was required to shift the second liner just stripped the threads. It completely mushed them. I'm not saying this threaded rod isn't, the quality is quite poor, if I'm perfectly honest. From a machinist's point of view, the thread cut on this is absolutely appalling. I don't know how well this will zoom in, but if you ever go and buy threaded rod, can you see it? Focus. Come on, focus. Not going to, is it? Not at that distance. I'll try and zoom in digitally. The thread form is really thin. So I could have taken a steel bar. I've got some 24T steel bar, which is tough steel, and made my own threading bar to go through. But I'll be perfectly honest, it wasn't easy to do. What with balancing this up in the air on another tube, and it all got rather high, and this thing's quite heavy. You don't want to be lifting it above your head too often. It really is quite a weight, and it's quite heavy just to carry it around. Never mind picking it up above your head. And then there was the matter of trying to hold the puck under the block when the block was sitting on a table. It didn't go very well. Anyway, I'm going to stop this here, mount the camera somewhere. So I'll just do a rerun of that now. So we have got the cylinder that we tried to use last time, and basically we just stripped out the threads. The first cylinder came out fine. The second cylinder was so tough, I just stripped the threads on the threaded bar. I could make, this is only a cheap, really badly made bar, a bit of old thread. It really is rubbish. Even the machining is absolute garbage. Very poor quality. So I could make a new bar out of some EN24 which I have in stock. But I'm not going to do that, and the reason I'm not going to do that is I don't want to continue with the hollow ram. At least not for this job. I might well use it on the press, but I don't want to use it in its own right, pulling cylinders. The reason being is this is heavy, and holding it up in the air above the block, you've got to stand another frame above the cylinder, above the block face, to mount this on, to give you room to draw this into. And you're balancing all this, and got a threaded rod, and you've got a hose hanging off here which is pulling it to one side, and this is heavy. It's quite a weight. I can't remember what it was now, but it's quite heavy. You don't want to be holding it above your head, certainly, really don't, but you've got to do that to get it all to slide down onto your threaded rod while it's all balancing, and oh, it's just, no, not for me. Then you've got the added fact that once you've got your threaded rod through here, you've then got to get it through your pot here, which fits into the, let me see what I'm doing, which fits into the bottom of the cylinder, and then your rod fits through here, put a nut on there, put a nut on the top, and you've got to do that under the block, and it's under and up inside the block. Yeah, forget it. It's not fun. It's just a recipe for disaster. So I've now built this gantry. It's heavy. It's a bit overkill, certainly overkill for this, but I'll not be complaining it's too small, I wouldn't have thought, at any point, whatever comes up. I've given myself a metre table width. We've got about 14 inch across here, and we've got about a 6 inch gap in the middle. I'm a little bit concerned about the gap in the middle. It's only 6 inch, depending on what jobs we get. Nothing much I do would need anything bigger, but if we seriously had a problem at a later date, these uprights are made out of 2 angle irons welded together, just here and there. We could cut the welds quite easily and separate these legs. The only reason I kept them together is because I had these plates, these 20mm plates, on the scrap heap, and yeah, today it'd cost a bit to replace those. Steel's got really expensive, so I've just used what I've got here. I've not bought anything apart from this, which I now might not use. So anyway, with no further ado, if you want more information on the press, dimensions, thicknesses of steel, whatever, just give me a shout. So we shall press on. Right, I'm going to set the block up on here, and I'll be back when I'm ready with that. I'm lifting it. I brought the table in. I've loaded it onto the table. I've turned it over. I'm now lifting it with a lifting magnet, but I don't particularly trust lifting magnets. They can let go, even when you think they've got things properly. I would never trust them. Steel on steel slides, so if you get any off balance, it'll just slide off, with or without magnet on it. So anyway, this is where we are, and I'm just going to load it so it sits on the table, and then I'm going to take my bench out the way. On the press again. Right, I want to pull out, I can't even see. Take the magnet off. We've something to do about that. I'm going to forget something to stand on, I think. Definitely too high. There we go. That's better. Right, which one do I want out? That one. Okay. So over a bit. Right. One poke. See what we can find for pushing. Use that. I'm going to use that. It might not be long enough. We shall see. Let's try with a 20-ton press, jack, what do you want to call it. Right, let's see where that gets us. I should have taken that with me, shouldn't I? I've got a step on here which is a bit precarious. On there it'll lightly slip over. So I'm going to put a disc on that. There we are. I'll start there. Let's see where that gets us. And here goes. Better make sure that we're actually clearing. Yeah, we're clear. See if this will push down. I'll put some glasses on, I think, just as a precaution. I think what would be nice would be to make a shield. Good grief. No wonder it stripped that thread. There she goes. Good grief. That took, I would imagine, all 20 tons. But she's going now. See if you can see that. Let me zoom in a bit. The second down to the surface of the rock now. That is a lot easier than using a hollow ram. A lot easier. There's a handle on that moment. Good grief. Forgot about that lot. Right, one liner. Look in the daylight. Yeah, kind of cracked. Yeah, it's definitely cracked. No point putting new liners in. Well, I don't think so. We shall have to have a word with its owner and see if I can take a picture. But that crack was exactly where the block was cracked. I suspect the other one next to it has done the same. So I'm going to stop there. And yeah, so what can we say? Well, the frame stood up to it. Yeah, the frame stood up to it. So I'm quite pleased with that. Unfortunately, the block's no good. So anyway, so there's the press, or there's the starting of the press. I will continue working on it when I've got spare time, and I've got some bits on order, and we'll improve on it. We'll try and, well, I've got to figure out where the ram's going, and then I can work out what height that top bit needs to be, because if we've got a ram that pushes a fair way down, then we might not need to drop it. We shall see. Anyway, thank you for watching. That's the end of this part.